You promise? Of course I did. You know, they took a pint of fluid out of my lower back.
You see this mole? This mole on my neck? You think it's changing color?
No. Well, you keep touching it, it's getting redder.
Oh, Mike likes.
Maybe this is happening at your house.
I forgot this movie. One of my favorites. Thanksgiving is all about spending time with family and friends, sharing a good meal, giving thanks, the whole point of why you're there. Yep. But it can also pose some challenges that, you know, come with getting a lot of different personalities together.
Yeah, absolutely. You're hosting, so there's a lot to get through right now because we brought in an etiquette expert, Myka Meier, to help us answer all these etiquette questions. You're laughing. You know we're right on this.
It's a minefield. How are we supposed to do this?
It is. You know, I don't want to jump in because there's so much to get to. We could honestly spend the whole hour talking to you about this stuff, but I want to talk about these conversations because this is the tricky part, especially, you know, I'm a news guy. So when I'm in these situations, people immediately say, so what do you make of XYZ, and it happens to be a controversial topic. How do you navigate that?
Oh, it's never easy, is it? But I think at the end of the day, you know, set the tone from the beginning. I always say, you know, at the beginning, if you know that there's two people that are just constantly at it or they're sensitive topics, say, all right, in the beginning, welcome, I'm so happy to have you. Let's focus on our amazing family. You know, set the tone early. And I think it's okay if something comes up to agree to disagree. And you can say, oh, you know, I hadn't thought about that at this point, but you know, let's talk about something we can agree on. And then you move the topic to something else. But if there is something at the table that becomes a bigger issue, it's the job of the host to say, okay, you know, let's move on to, let's talk about XYZ, whatever it is. But that's the hard part. So the host is actually the kind of the orchestrator of the party at the end of the day.
Kind of like the moderator, yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about the host. What about being a good guest? Because I'm just going to say, you know, I have one of those families that, I'm not going to name names, but very opinionated, very, very opinionated about the food, okay? Those family members may not contribute a lot to certain things. I'm not going to name specific things, but like, how do you deal with that as the host, right? And then how can you be a better guest?
Oh, so being a guest, it's so hard to host, right? There's so much to think about, so much planning. So I would say bring a host gift, ask what you can bring, because if you just show up with a pumpkin pie, but 4 other people showed up with pumpkin pie, then it might not be the best thing, right? So ask the host what you can do during the meal, offer to help. Can I do any dishes? Can I bring anything out? Just try to think about what would help the host, and don't show up early, because everybody who's ever hosted, you say, okay, show up at 1, and then somebody shows up at 12:30 and you're just frazzled the rest of the time. So as a good guest, show up about 10 minutes after the invitation time, and that is actually the perfect time to show up.
All right, I'm guilty of the showing up early because I like to do a drive-by. Oops, sorry, that was my...
See, that's what happens when you show up early.
But I like to, was that my mic or did I have
You're good.
So I like to do a drive-by because we have a lot of families to get to and places to go. So is that okay? Or, you know, because some people get a little bit touchy about you leaving early or just coming by for a minute, even though, you know, you've got a lot of families and a lot of friends to hit.
You know, I think that's so common. And I think the key here is just to tell the host ahead of time. Say, I would love to come. We are going to be stopping by. Please let me know what time is best. Unfortunately, we can't stay for more than, you know, an hour or whatever your drop by time is. But let me know. So that way you don't show up in the middle of dinner where everybody's sitting around, the door's open, and then you're stuck for about an hour. You can't get out then.
So I got to ask you, since you're the etiquette expert, what's your plan tomorrow? And is there sort of a higher bar? Because people are always pointing to you saying, well, that's not what you say and what you say on TV. I mean, what's your plan?
Myka is in the UK right now, but she's back and forth between New York and the UK, right, Myka? So you do celebrate Thanksgiving, right?
Oh, yes, big time. I have a turkey. I have a ham. I'm doing it. Even though I'm not back in New York, I am doing it properly. And there's so much pressure. Right. I tell you what, I always say, don't ask any etiquette questions because the turkey might be burnt. There might be, I mean, who knows? But it all goes out of the door tomorrow.
I love it. I love it. Well, this is a good roadmap for us.
Good stuff, Myka. It's always so good to see you, friend.
Thank you so much for having me. Good luck. Godspeed tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna need the luck, especially me. I feel like I really need it.
Who were you talking? It seems like you were trying to deliver a message.
Mike, don't cause more trouble. Don't cause more trouble.
My family who lives in Queens, they watch the show.
Yeah,
but
it's
they
all
know
good.
who they are.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good day.